Beef Carbonnade. Beautiful Flemish, which is by Belgium, dish that is amazing. Oh my gosh, you gotta try this. It's absolutely delicious. Check out my video because this will change your life. Anyways, bon soirée with Steve. Subscribe and check out this video. Thank you so much. Bon soirée, bon appétit. Tonight I'm making Beef Carbonnade, which is basically beef cubed up, cooked in beer. With lots of onions, delicious, yummy. Simple to make. You're going to need some good beer. By the way, thank you to Spiteful Brewery in Chicago, Illinois for donating this beer and recommending this beer. So the kind of beer you want to use is a stout bitter beer for cooking. You're going to need some thyme. You're going to need some brown sugar, some flour, some garlic, 4 onions, good size. You're going to need a couple bay leaves, at least a half a baguette. You're going to need some Dijon mustard, and you're going to need some clarified mustard. Clarified butter. If you don't have clarified butter, that's okay. Just use 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of oil. Anyways, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cube this guy up, and we're going to get to it. So we'll be right back. Hang in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cube this chuck roast. This is about just slightly over 4 pounds. You're going to really need 3.5 to 4 pounds, but I always like to get a little bit more because of the fat that I'm going to take out. So we're just going to take a look at this guy, and if you look, you will see the lines where the fat is, and that's what we want to remove. So I'm just going to follow that and see where it naturally separates. And I'm just going to cut that fat right out. This is a Steve way. And I don't want to waste meat. So we just follow that around. And this takes a little patience, but there you go. And you're going to just keep doing that until you get all this fat. But you see how this is starting to curl, and I see where this is naturally turning. So I'm going to separate that like that. I'm going to turn that. I'm just going to get rid of that fat. Just watch your fingers. Like that. Alright, so we're going to cube them. Now you can cube them about this big, 2 inches, or you can do 1 inch. I think I will do them in like 1 inch pieces. Again, cut any fat, as much as the fat as you can. And notice there was a big piece of fat, so I will actually edit this now that you get the gist. But yeah, just basically cut all the fat off and we'll be back. So we're moving along, and by the way, I wanted to just mention, if you do this yourself, you save a ton of money. Because if you buy the piece as they sell it as what, stew meat, and it's already cubed for you, twice the amount, if not 3 times the amount. So this is a good money saver, and it's really not hard. If you waste a little bit of meat on your first few tries, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. What I'm doing here is I'm feeling for the fat. No problem. It's easy as that. minute, we'll be back. I also have to peel and all these onions and cut them up. So we'll be back when all that's done. Okay, so chopped all those onions, shed a few tears. Got my clarified butter. Open that guy up. And remember, if you don't have clarified butter, use butter and olive oil, regular olive oil, or any oil, but do not use extra virgin or virgin. That's too high of or too low of a burn point, I should say, not too high. All right, let's drop that in there. Okay, put that to the side. I'm going to take my 2 garlics, give it a tap, and peel, tap, and peel. Beautiful. Now I'm going to give it another tap, another tap. I'm just going to dice that real quick. Now, I wanted to tell you guys something too. Now, you notice all this fat? And some of the pieces out of that chuck roast were just so inlaid with fat. That's okay. This is not going to waste. This is going to go in a Ziploc. And it's going to go in the freezer. And when I'm ready to make my beef stock, for example, my beef stock for the French onion soup, this is the stuff I use, besides oxtails and shanks and whatever. And so I'm going to throw that in the freezer and save it for when I make my beef stock for my French onion soup or any beef stock. I have a specific one I make my onion soup. I'll put a link that you guys can check that out. All right. Let me switch the camera so you can see what I'm cooking, and we'll be right back. So I got my clarified butter, and I'm just going to bring this to a high heat, and I'm simply just going to brown all this beautiful beef. Now I'll get a plate, a clean plate, beside it. And we're just gonna do this in batches. We're just gonna brown those in all sides and in batches, and then just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But let me show you how that's done. And then after that, we're gonna add the onions, and then the garlic, and then the brown sugar, and then, oh my gosh, there's so much flavor into this, and the beer as well, which I'm really excited to try this beer. And this from Spiteful Brewery. Thank you. All right. I'm hearing a sizzle. That's a good sign. I'm going to drop my meat. And you want to kind of move quickly to drop those guys in there. Because you want to try to, well, do them all evenly. You don't want to crowd the pan too much. All right, that's enough. And you're basically going to give it maybe 4 or 5 minutes on each side. So I'm going to start turning. Now, if you want, you can use, this is probably the easiest. Just use the spatula and turn it. Like that. Oh, this will take you forever. There we go. We're getting it nice coated by the clarified butter on both sides. And now I'm just going to let it brown a little bit so I get a nice browning on it. And that's going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause this, and I'll show you a close-up of what that looks like. And we're going to keep turning that, and browning that, taking it out, and so on and so forth. So, hang in there, we'll be right back. Okay, so this is the browning you're looking for. Delicious. Ooh, a little steam there, but notice the browning at the bottom, that's going to add to our onions and all that. And that's Part of the secret of this dish. Delicious. Keep stirring. So check this out. Browning beautifully. This is my last batch. Yeah, look at that. Love it. Woo, awesome. Now I'm picking these guys out. Get some nice browning on there, nice and seared. That's what we're looking for. You know, we're just going to remove them, let them rest here, and let the juices flow onto that plate. And that's the secret, one of the secrets of this dish. Well, secret. One of the importance of this dish. Ooh, you get back up there. So it's important that they do that. Now, lower your heat to a moderate heat. Right away, we're gonna, if at this point you would add oil, or in my case, I'm gonna add a nice chunk of clarified butter. And if you don't know how to make clarified butter, take this off the pan a minute to cool it down a little bit with that high heat. Okay. I'll put a link. I'll show you how to make it. It's easy, and look, you can make some. You know, it'll last you. Well, you can keep it, I think, up to a year. I mean, I go through it in a few months, but definitely 6 months or something like that. I'll put it in my description and the link. All right, let's add these onions. Ooh, I love onions. I do. I cannot hide my love for onions. Oh, let's switch to this guy. All right, notice I'm turning it. We're going to cook this for 10 minutes, but I'm going to coat it with that clarified butter, or in your case, if you add oil. By the way, if you can, use olive oil. Not extra virgin, not virgin, just regular olive oil. And it's just nicer flavor, in my opinion, for this dish. This is a French classic. Well, French. No. Well, French Flemish. This is a northern dish from the northeast of France. So right along Belgium. They got Flemish people, and Flemish is actually a language as well. And anyways, you're asking, where did I learn this dish? Well, my parents had a summer home in the south of France in a condo building, and the same group of friends would go there every summer for vacation. And one of my friends was from Belgium, and he was Flemish. I don't know if he was 100% Flemish. I don't know. But anyways, his mother made this. And, oh my gosh, so good. It's so good. They would get there early in June. And so it was still a little cool. Not much, just a little bit. This is before the climate change. And, yeah, made this dish. All right, so we're gonna give this 10 minutes. You see how I mixed that nice? It has like a nice browning. Moderate heat now, so medium, and we're going to wait for like 10 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so look at that. Oh, look at that color. That is just amazing. Alright, so now you need to judge. You need to add a little more olive oil or clarified butter. I don't think so. I think we're good. So I'm going to add the garlic now. Woo. There we go. That happens. All right. And then we're going to add our brown sugar. And try not to drop it in the pot. All right, we're going to stir that in. And this is where I'll make the judgment. And in my case, I do not need to add any more clarified butter. And if you're using olive oil, you don't need to add more olive oil. If it's looking like this, see how it's still moist, well coated. If it wasn't, So what you're trying to do now is scrape the bottom and keep tossing it and getting all that flavor in there. You can get the sides. Just keep doing that. Alright, now we're going to push the sides down. If any onions and garlic happen to go on your high in there, sometimes they want to climb up there, they'll just burn, so that's not good. So we still have it on a medium heat. We're going to give it 5 minutes, and we'll be back. So look at that onion. Look at that beautiful color. And it still has 2 minutes to go. So that's what you're looking for. A nice golden, light brown. Oh, the smell is amazing. Okay. I still got a couple minutes before my onions are ready. But I'm looking at my beef and there's a lot of drainage, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. But it's too much for me to try to drain that, so I'm going to separate my meat now. They had a good chance to drain into the pan, into the bowl. And picking only the ones on top. Put some of these back on top. I want this. This juice down here, I want this badly. So give that a couple minutes. All right, look at that. Oh my God. This is better than beautiful. Okay, that looks good. We're gonna turn off the heat on our onions. Well, that's draining a little more. I'm going to take my onions out and put them in a separate plate here. Look at how beautiful that is. Seriously, folks. This is deliciousness. Perfect winter, fall, early spring, but French comfort food, or I should say Flemish comfort food. It is amazing. Alright. Yeah, I'm not going to waste any of that. It's just all deliciousness. Okay. Oh, let's see that in here. Okay. Keep separating this now. Heat's off on the burner completely. Now, the next part, you're going to need two things. You're going to need your flour. You're going to need this juice, which you're just going to pour in there. You're going to add your flour and stir. I put a little bit at a time and work it in, making your bouillon, so to speak. Well, it isn't bouillon, but it'll thicken up. So remember, the heat is off. This is very important. If you do this, the heat on, it's not good. No bueno, like they say in Spanish. Pas bon in French. Alright, now you're going to need your beer. And I got to show you guys this because I went over to Spiteful Brewery and I needed a stout beer. And I asked the gentleman at the counter, and they were selling it by the 6-pack, and I said, really, I need just 2 cups. Can I buy a single can? And he goes, oh, sure. So he went and got it, and he gave it to me. I mean, how kind was that? So anyways, I'm gonna plug them in. Spiteful Brewery in Chicago, Illinois. They're located on Damon. And this particular brand beer is goddamn pigeon porter. Look at that label. You gotta love that. All right, so we're gonna open our beer. And we're gonna put this back on the lowest heat. And we're gonna slowly, oh, look at that color of that beer too. Can you see this? Look at that. It's just like beautiful. Oh, this is good. I'm really excited. Okay, so what you're going to do is put a little bit at a time and work it in. A little bit at a time. Work that flour. Work all those flavors in. And it's going to foam, it's going to do some things, but it's all good. This is all goodness. This beer smells really good. Take a little taste. A lot of flavor. Almost has like a chocolate taste to it. It's just going to go perfect with this beautiful Flemish dish. You need about 2 cups of beer. And look how our sauce is starting to form. And the key is take it easy, take your time. Alright, I'm going to keep adding this and slowly mixing it, and we'll be right back. Okay, now it's getting a little too warm, so I turned off the heat completely. But you see how the sauce is coming? But it's getting a good smoke, which I don't want. I want it to take its time. So what's left of the heat in the pan should be sufficient. By the way, the beer, I brought it to room temperature. You don't want it to be cold when you're cooking. All right, let's add a little more. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so I incorporated all this. Now I lit my back burner. I'm going to lower my heat all the way down. And I'm going to transfer this guy over to the back. I'm going to season. Add some nice salt, 2 good pinches, and some coarse black pepper. Adding 2 good pinches into that. Now we're just going to bring this to a simmer. Actually, I'm going to bring up that heat. And once it simmers, I'm going to lower the heat and just let it thicken. And let it take its time. Now, it's time to bring out the bad boy. So if you don't have a Dutch oven, use something heavy. But Dutch oven's the best. Anyways, my opinion. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to layer the meat. Don't be shy of grabbing that meat. It's cool now. And what we're going to do is put a layer. That. And then we're going to add some onion. The onion's still hot, so don't use your hands. But I put about half. And spread that around. So we're just making layers. And then we're just going to add some seasoning. Pepper. I'm going to add some thyme in there. And on the top, the bottom layer, I'm just going to peel it. Put it in there. Try to get the stick off. The spring, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Okay. Now we do another layer. Like that. Perfect. Now if you have a little juice, like I did, don't waste that. Put it in your mixture. Put the rest of your onions. Try to spread it around. Now I have my oven preheated at 300 degrees. If you have a convection oven, put it lower, put it like 275. If you have the option, like I did, to not have it on convection on my La Corner stove, which I absolutely love. I always dreamed of having this stove. It's such a beautiful stove. Took me a lifetime to get it, but it's beautiful. Look at that. All right, we're going to season again. And we're going to put some pepper. I'm going to take my bay leaves, which, by the way, is growing right by my window, my kitchen window. You can see it later when I move the camera over there. But you're going to kind of tuck in these bay leaves in, and take your hand and just push down so your mixture is nice, compact. All right. Now you're going to take the rest of your time, just throw it on top. Save a little bit for garnish for later. But now we're just going to wait on this to thicken up. And we're going to pour it over, and that's going to take probably about a good 5-10 minutes to thicken up. So we will be right back. So, I don't know, it's been about 10 minutes. I've been simmering this, letting it reduce. Added my thyme, my bay leaves, seasoned it really well. Now we're just going to take this magic, pour it as much as I can all over the beef. There we go. Oh my gosh. That's going to be just unbelievable. Alright. Don't forget to turn off that burner, or else cleanup will be a mess. Okay. This is it. This is it. Now you cover it. And this is the part you got to be patient. 2.5, maybe 3, maybe 3.5 hours. Ideally 3 hours, but until it's tender. And then oven at 300 degrees. Slowly cook it. Oh, it'll be beautiful. It'll be beautiful, trust me. So we will be back in 3 hours. But it's worth it. Okay, we're back. So I toasted my bread, my baguettes that I sliced. And I'm going to get my Dijon mustard, which this is extra strong Dijon mustard. If you can get French, you can get it online. It's really easy to get. But Grey Poupon is great too. So get a little mustard, and you're just gonna put some mustard on each of the top of these guys. And let me tell you, this is yumminess. Now tonight I'm going to serve these with smashed potatoes. I will put a link so you can know how I make those. Now don't put too much Dijon. Just put enough to cover the top. Like that. All right, so what you're going to do is put that aside. You're going to get your hot bits. Watch it, Zoe. Zoe's my assistant here. By the way, it's her birthday tomorrow. Right, Zoe? How old are you going to be? Oh, it's going to be, I believe, 14. Yeah, Zoe? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Let's see how that was. Oh my God, that is beautiful. All right, that is beautiful. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and I'm going to place these in, put it on broil, stick it in the oven. So 3 hours in cooking. I'm going to remove my bay leaves. All these twigs. Don't burn yourself. Pretty easy to do though. Where's my other bay leaf? Ah, disappeared. Okay. No problem. Now we're going to drop these on top. So, like so, like so. With that beautiful Dijon mustard. Don't press it down. Just put it on there. No big deal. Oh my gosh, this is the best fall winter meal ever. Maybe I'll take this out, put a bigger one in there. There we go. I think that's all it's going to fit. All right, we're going to put that in the oven, put it on broil, leave the top off, and have some magic. We'll be right back. Okay. This should be all ready. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God. The Flemish would be jealous. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my God. So now we're just going to serve it. And how you serve this? Very easy. Take a couple of croutons. I like to just push it down a little bit. Like that. So it soaks up some of the juice. Perfect. Then I take one, put it to the side, put two to the side, and three to the side. And then I go for a beautiful beef and oh my God. Look at that. A little bit more onions and beef. And then, as in what you can do, is serve it with my smashed potatoes. And just put it lightly to this side. There you go. Get a little parsley, drizzle all over. And look at that. There you have it. Bonsoir, bon appetit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy, enjoy. Anyway, subscribe and like. Thank you. Merci.